XM 105, Sirius 206, the Opie and Anthony channel. The Ron and Fez show starts right now.
Okay, let's get down to it, boppers.
Oh, buddies, it's the Ron and Fez show. Starting off with the brothers, just getting us into that fucking soulshine mood. But suddenly I'm looking over and I fucking think a lot better of Chris Stanley right now.
Thank you.
There's like a brotherhood thing going on. I didn't even fucking realize it until we got into that song. We were passing the bottle back and forth.
Fuck yeah.
It just made me think, man, we're all friends, you know?
Yeah, fuck yeah. Feels good, right?
That fucking Pips is a great kid.
Oh.
I didn't check yet on Fez. How's he feeling today?
Fez feeling good today.
Really? After yesterday's debacle?
Yeah. Fez is fucking on his toes.
But he's actually a little angrier today. You're not going to believe this. Something in the news has Fez angry, and this doesn't always happen.
Oh, shit.
Just so I can be clear, is it gay-related, Fez?
I think it's man-related. I think it's everybody related.
So you're trying to find a brotherhood between the homosexual men and the heterosexual men.
Exactly.
You're on a fucking soul shine, brother. That's what just fucking happened to you. For once in your life, you let the soul shine in.
This is something that affects men everywhere, gay, straight, no matter what you are.
All right, so what has got you so damn upset?
This Qantas airline story. It's on the iBang. A single man is on a flight on Qantas.
It's weird.
So there's a little girl flying alone who's seated next to him.
Right.
The flight attendants come to this guy, happens to be a male nurse, and says...
Oh my
All right, telling.
God.
Gotcha, winking.
Oh my God.
And says, sir, we're going to have this lady change seats with you so that there's a woman sitting next to the little girl. So later on, he goes back to see, after the flight's taken off, to see what happened. Qantas has this policy that single men cannot sit next to unaccompanied children when they fly. So this man was humiliated. He said other passengers were looking at him.
Oh, stop with that. No one's looking at you.
Of why he had to move.
But nobody was looking at him. I mean, I could get when he's saying, this is my seat. Now, I'm going to just flip the script just a little bit on you. I would probably like it if someone moved me away from a little kid on a long fucking trip, because I don't want to be next to people coloring.
I don't feel comfortable around children.
You hate kids.
I don't like kids at all.
The weird thing is...
They weird me out.
It's not all that long ago, 15 years ago, you would be considered a kid.
Yeah.
Why do you now not remember your own past?
Being a kid fucking blew. It's fuck that shit. I don't want anything to do with them. I don't why I won't want to be around kids. I fucking love it that I'm in an adult world.
Now, let me just say this. If we fucking switched the word kids for black, you would be considered an awful person.
I don't want to marry it.
You don't want to be like, people can say that about kids or old people and get away with it.
Oh, you goddamn.
Because, like, if people go, I don't want to see old people eat in a restaurant, well, switch that with fucking Asian, and everybody would hate you for that statement. All right, you're saying, and also, let me say this. I get you bought a seat. It's up to you whether you move or not. I get that. But I don't think anybody was looking at this fucking guy and judging him, because people move all the time. I'll give you another example. Suppose, would you move your seat so I can put the mother next to the kid? That happens all the time. Or could you move your seat so this man and wife could sit together? You get asked those kind of things. So I don't think everyone's looking at that guy and thinking, well, there's a KT. I think most of us are on a plane and we're just like, please, let's just fucking take off. Why are we still sitting here? I can't understand this. This is in my trip time, and yet I'm not moving. Because that's the worst feeling. Not moving on your trip.
The man said he was humiliated by it, and then later on, the same flight attendant went to the woman who moved and thanked her for being so cooperative, and this guy never got a thank you from her, where it was like, oh, we've moved the hideous man beast away.
All right, let me just say this. He came up with the word kid fiddler. I kind of get the feeling, if you even know the term kid fiddler, you know.
Kid Fiddler should be in a fucking bluegrass band.
You
You should be fucking kids.
But if he's saying they think I'm a kid fiddler, you probably are one. You're a fucking male nurse,
That's
and
how
you know the term kid fiddler.
That's how this airline made him feel. Like he was under suspicion for kid fiddling.
Well, I think they were just saying, we want to make this an easier flight for everybody, and a woman is better to sit next to a kid than a man. I kind of would like to be moved if I was sitting next to somebody else's kid.
I'd be horrified. I'd be like, I hope this. The only thing, like the worst thing is that the kids start talking to me and shit. I have to interact with them.
Yeah, and they're
I
like,
feel
what,
fucking-
you know, all right, suppose
No
this,
thanks.
you're riding up there, and like, there's clouds, there's clouds.
Yeah, they're clouds.
Who's the president?
I don't know.
What's lumpy in your pants?
Just get-
What's
don't-
something's
don't-
lumpy
don't-
in your
shut up.
pants?
Shut your mouth.
Something's lumpy in your pants.
gotta go.
You got something lumpy in your pants.
No, shut up.
No, that wouldn't cause a fucking disturbance. Yes, him even yelling like that makes me feel like he's a kid fiddler.
No, I don't feel shit.
Garth, you're on the Run of Fez show.
Hey, Ronnie. Doesn't it seem a little ironic that Fez is backing the potential kid toucher?
I don't find it ironic. I find it just fucking
Garth,
standard.
Par for the
Garth,
course.
as a fellow man, you should be with me on
Homosexual man.
this. You should be with me on this, that men are just targeted as animals, gay or straight.
Angelo, you're on Run of Fez.
Yeah, I agree with Fez, and I know that's a rarity, but I definitely agree with Fez. It's basically the typical stereotype that a man can't be as nurturing or as caring or as sensitive to a child as a woman, and that fucking
Yes.
always plays out in any type of any.
Yeah, but
part of society.
let's take that back a step. That is a stereotype that's 100% true. That
It is not. That's bullshit.
men are
I
not
can't-
fucking nurturers. We don't know what the fuck we're doing.
Wait, you don't put it on yourself. There are parents who are male who take care of their kids while
All right,
women
divorced
work.
dad. Okay, that's what we got right here. We got divorced
No, I'm
dad.
not a divorced. No. I'm not a divorced dad.
I'm going to tell you right now.
You're a great nurturer on the weekends.
If it comes down to like feeding a fucking kid and doing that thing where they take some kind of towel and wipe their mouth and shit, men are fucking terrible at it. And I'll tell you something else. The whole changing the baby, and I'm sure there's guys that are really good at it. Most of the time, you're going to find some shit granules after a fucking man has changed a baby. And that can be dangerous, particularly with little girls.
Oh, tiny poops.
Men fucking are terrible at it. Now,
That's nasty.
I'm going to even flip the script one more time. Anyone who sends their 10-year-old on a flight, their 10-year-old little girl on a flight by themselves, wants that kid to be molested.
No one can want their child to be molested.
Then why are you putting her on a flight by
It's just
yourself?
general bad parenting. Maybe it's not-
But basically, they're saying they don't give a fuck. Now, everybody else is going to fucking care.
Yeah, you've already put your kid on a flight by itself.
Itself. See what he's saying? No woman would call baby itself.
That thing.
They would know to call it a little girl or a little boy, but men fucking make those mistakes and think of it as a it.
Oh, it isn't it?
A thing. Now, the other side of this is this guy not blowing it out of fucking proportion? I mean, really, what's the big deal?
He said that there was such a ruckus in the back of the plane from everyone moving around that people were just staring at him like something was wrong with him because he had to get away from this kid.
Just because, by the way, you feel it, and you know this yourself, you're constantly thinking people are talking about you when only sometimes we are. The other side of it, if you're so humiliated, then you're going to take that to a fucking journalist and get it out there so now people on the other side of the planet are having a fucking discussion, and some of them calling you a kid toucher. You're
Fiddler.
not fucking humiliated. You're a fucking drama queen.
This guy loves it.
He fucking wants everybody to look at him. How humiliated could you be if now you want to be on the news about it? Rick, Brooklyn, you're on the Run of Fez show.
What's going on, Ronnie? You missed the YNF days, man.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Fezzy, I got a couple points. First of all, when I was a kid, and of course it's not a plane, it was a stupid Greyhound bus. When I was like 11 years old, my mom shipped me off to my aunt's for a week. The bus put me on the front seat, put a sign around my stupid neck, and put what stop I'm going to get off at. I understand that. But what is the big deal? Why couldn't they just move the kid to the front of the plane instead of making all the passengers move for one child?
That is a great point. That is a great point because they're anti-man. That's why.
But the point would still be the same, Fez. It would still be the man can't be fucking trusted. So, I mean, now you're semantics, whether you move the man or move the kid. But what they're saying is we want child safety, so we don't want a man sitting next to a kid.
It's what it symbolizes. Let's remove the man from society.
Just as bad. Well, it's not removed from society. He's still on the plane. Now, if they would have said, sir, you have to get off the plane, that would have been different. But he would have just as been humiliated as, why can't I sit next to this child?
Oh, you should never say that.
The only thing that is fucking good about sitting next to a kid is that you can threaten them over arm space.
Oh, you can dominate it.
And then the other thing that's fun to do when you're sitting next to the kid on a plane when they're flying alone is go like this. What was that noise? The last time I heard that noise was 9/11. Oh. Shh. Are we going down? What would Sully? This is like a fucking Sully flight.
I hate that game.
Now I'm going to also flip it one more time. Why is the woman who's going to have a nice, peaceful fucking flight, why does she got to sit next to the kid? Maybe this is anti-woman, like once again saying, hey, there's dishes to be done.
Get in there.
Yeah, why doesn't the woman do it?
Come on, that's your role.
Let's go over to Art. Art, you're on the Run and Fez show.
Oh, what's up, Ryan G?
Yeah.
So I got to tell you about this flight I was on last week. I was sitting on the aisle, and I'm sitting next to these two brothers. They're probably like 8 years old and 10 years old, right?
Yeah.
And these are some high-strung little shits, man. And I'm a parent. I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old. I'm pretty tolerant of kids, right? But these kids played grab ass nonstop on a 3-hour flight. And toward the end of the flight, the one next to the window turns to his brother and starts spitting on him. And I feel the tiniest little drop of saliva hit the side of my face.
Yeah.
And I looked over at him and I said, guys, I've been really fucking cool this whole flight, but I'm about to have to kill the both of you.
See, that's when you were saying, like you're tolerant of your kids, because you can say shit like that to your kids. You can say, seriously, sit your narrow asses down, or I'm going to fucking rampage all over this plane, and they'll believe you. But you can't say that to other people's kids. All right, this guy sent in, Fez would not share the aisle with Dukesy, King of the Dukes, but upset over this kid toucher being stuck there. It's an interesting point. Tim in Iowa, you're on the Run and Fez show.
Hey, I believe that Fez is right to a point, but the point ends with it was the gay kid touchers that started it all in the first place.
No, it wasn't. He was seated in his ticketed seat.
Right, but he's saying,
they came to him.
He's saying the term gay kid toucher is what started. In other words, what is the percentage of a strange man diddling a kid as opposed to a strange woman diddling a fucking kid? Now, from the airline's point of view, they could be thinking, we're just watching out for ourselves. Right? We don't want to be fucking sued. And we don't want to be in charge of watching this kid constantly. What are the odds that a man will do something horrible or a woman will do something horrible? The men have to be a much more of a risk.
Yeah.
You know, if you're just looking at poker numbers, where's the fucking bet that you make? You bet the woman, not the man.
Women will fuck high school boys, but that's pretty much the only time their numbers go up.
There was just a story last week that a fucking man molested a sleeping teenager. I believe it was on a plane. I'm not fucking sure. So it is a strange fucking thing here, but they should have handled it better. But we're also hearing this drama queen screaming now instead of just fucking moving. I've had to move before for fucking, could this couple sit in here? And then everybody, you're like, yeah, fuck it. And you move over just to be a regular person in society. and you're kind of pissed off about it. And then 15 minutes later, you're into your fucking music, you're reading your book, you don't give a shit. You don't go running off and trying to find a fucking journalist and turn it into a goddamn worldwide story. Let's go over to James. James in Maryland, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey guys, I just can't figure out why people want to take these things, just like you said, Ron, and turn it into a huge story. It makes zero sense. This used to be something that you would go home, you'd have a laugh about it, you would make a big story about it, about how ridiculous it is, but you wouldn't try to sue somebody.
Everybody's got to fucking try to get their 15 minutes of, Access Hollywood, CNN time, whatever it happens to be. Now, by the way, I'm just going to say this before we move on. I'm happy that you're up. I'd rather see you in this position than weirded out. Mm-hmm. So don't, I'm glad that we're debating this and having fun with it. And then I'll move on from there. On every other case, you're always better safe than sorry. No matter what the fucking situation is, better safe than sorry. Here's the first time. And I think a big part of this is you're not a parent. You're never going to be a parent. You don't care about your nieces and nephews. So this issue, you just side with the single dude. Not even the gay guy. You just only see things from the perspective of what if I was in this.
Yeah, because the single person always has to move.
But you have to also be able to see things from the perspective of everybody involved, including the airline, who's saying, we're just looking for the safest possible scenario here. That's all they were looking for. If they did it wrong, then they should make adjustments. But I don't think they did this to humiliate somebody. If I was sitting in the fucking courtroom, I would probably say to the guy, if I was a judge in this, dude, they didn't set out to fucking make you feel like a freak. They were trying to have the safest situation so everybody could fucking fly.
Covering their ass.
Because it's acceptable in society to just assume every man is going to grab a kid.
It was a week ago. Man groped sleeping teen on JetBlue flight. A week ago. They're probably, all the fucking airlines are going, how do we deal with this type of situation? Now, you're never going to see the thing, a woman groped a sleeping fucking teen. She's not going to wait till a teen passes out and sits there and starts to fucking jiggle the guy's balls.
Massage his cock, come on.
It's not going to happen. But we could...
It's like a porn plot.
And when they say don't talk to strangers, you never pictured in your head the stranger being a woman.
It's doing a fucking trench coat.
If you were a kid and you were walking around a strange city and you didn't know where you were going, you would walk up to a woman or a cop. You wouldn't walk up to some regular fucking... Well, I don't know. Maybe some people want to be diddled. Let's... look who it is. Hard Rock Johnny, the man who pulled the plug on Springsteen, wants to get in on this.
So I'm driving home from Atlantic City. We're
all
down
fucked
there
up.
for a few days.
Fucking
I'm all right. And so yesterday we're at the pool, and there's a group of like 20 kids, all different, there's black, Chinese, they're all just a bunch of little kids having a good game of Marco Polo. And all of a sudden, 50-year-old guy jumps in the pool and starts playing Marco Polo. I'm totally creeped out by this. He's in the middle of a group of kids. Marco! And these little kids are like, what the hell's going on? Now, if a girl did that, I would be like, oh, look at her having fun with them. But when there's a dude doing it, it was totally creepy.
Right, because men are like Boo Radley. We can't fucking get away from that. We have this weird thing that no one wants us alone with kids.
You hate your own gender, Hard Rock Johnny.
No, I do not. I just think it was creepy. If you didn't think that was creepy, Fez, would you jump in the pool and play Marco Polo with a bunch of kids you didn't know?
You would probably, let me just say this, you're at a hotel pool. You're down there by yourself, you're swimming around, there's no one else around. 3 kids get in that pool, you're probably going to get out, towel off, lay down for a while, and wait for some adults to come back around. So when the accusation starts, you've got a couple eyewitnesses to protect you.
Check the tape. I'm sure there's a fucking video camera around here somewhere.
You know there is. By the way, how come you're not all over this WikiLeaks story?
I love the WikiLeaks.
But you see how they're being attacked by...
Anonymous, I believe, is taking the shots at him.
I'm wondering who that is. Because apparently it's U.S. things that came out.
Oh, Jesus.
And suddenly now they're being attacked. So they think that the NSA or whoever hires their own fucking rogue guys.
Yeah, they'll fucking hire dudes like in Eastern Europe and shit with nothing better to do and just fucking...
And that's because they came up with that Batman camera. The same one that was in the Dark Knight Rises or does something.
Dark Knight Returns.
He jumps up and kills people. All right, Johnny.
Bye. See ya.
Peace. 866. Run Zero Fez. 866 Run Zero Fez. James, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Ronnie, Fez, how you doing, man? Hey, listen, I got to throw it on the airline. I mean, if it's a ticketed passenger and he's got his seat, then they need to make that switch long before he got into that plane.
Yeah, but you know what? Let's just let's play the rules here. The person at the thing wasn't thinking of it at the desk. It was the people on the plane. For all we know, this looks like a creepy guy. Would you feel bad if you thought to yourself, I'm going to move Polo? Would you trust Polo sitting next to a kid? Because my fucking gut reaction says Polo is creepy looking. Now, do I think he would diddle a kid? I think at most there's a 35% chance. At most. But why would I want to take that chance? A man gropes a sleeping teen on a JetBlue flight. How come that doesn't set you off like every other gun thing that you hear or any of this other stuff? You're always wanting to, they should know who the nuts are and question them. I blame the school. I blame this. I think that the only thing that you see in this story, Fez, and that clouds it for you, is the single man. And I'm only saying...
I've been asked to move myself.
Right, but you're kind of a creepy looking guy. You don't mean to be, but my niece and nephew were in here last week and they were weirded out by you. And they call you Fuzz. Now, I know that you're safe. You know what? I assume that you're safe.
You know that I'm safe.
I wouldn't leave you alone with them. But the fact of the matter is, why not just be safe? Why not move over next to a nice person? If I could have a kid sitting next to you or Catholic Sam, I would pick Catholic Sam.
Oh yeah.
See, that's not an insult to you. If I could have Hicks sit next to a kid,
please no.
Or me sit next to a kid, I pick Catholic Sam 100% of the time.
All right, let's take it this way. Who's better to sit next to an unaccompanied kid on a flight than a nurse? Someone who's in first aid, or the kid starts choking or something. It was actually safer to have the guy next to him.
So now you're willing to play out all those scenarios, right? Now you're willing to play out all the scenarios. The biggest fucking scenario would be, is that kid going to be safe? And the airline took a fucking shot. You can disagree with them. I had no problem with that. I don't think they set out to humiliate anybody. I think that they set out to have a nice, calm fucking trip where no kids got molested.
No, because they don't see it as humiliation. It's just accepted.
But you're still taking that as if it's some kind of anger at the guy. I don't think anyone's anger with the man. I think they just wanted to fucking have a nice flight. Pit Doc.
Ronnie, he was in the next to last low. He should have just cut a deal. He should have said, well, if you want to move me up to first class, motherfuckers. It was only a 300-mile flight anyway.
And that's how you do negotiations.
Right.
That's how you do the negotiations.
No harm, no foul.
Thanks. Or you say, look, if I'm going to go through all this hassle, do I get a free flight for this? I see people doing that all the fucking time.
Look me the fuck up.
You just don't get all red-faced and go, running off to a journal. The going to the journalist shows me that he's not fucking humiliated. At most, he wants cash. At least, he wants attention. Joel, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hello, Mr. Ron Bennington.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, if you look at statistics, depending on who you get them from, it's between 85 and 90% males who commit violent crimes and these sexual assaults. So I don't understand why Fezzi can't just take those numbers. This is a giant airline. They have to worry about, just like you were saying, the poker stats. They have to cover their ass. Because imagine if this kid did get touched, and then someone brings up those stats that I'm just saying. Then that kid would be able to sue for a ton of money.
And everybody always says, oh, that the fucking stewardess will keep an eye on the kids. But the fact of the matter is, how often do you see a stewardess doing a flight anymore?
Twice.
Yeah, sometimes it's only a fucking couple of them for a giant fucking plane.
You get your fucking drink, that's about it.
One time I was flying alone when I was a little kid, and I flew into Chicago, and my parents were like, you got to change planes in Chicago, and then, you know, you got a short flight after that. So they're going to take you over to your next thing. So I'm not fucking paying attention to this. So I go to get off the plane, and there was a woman, nice fucking woman, and she was pushing a guy in a wheelchair and had a blind guy. Now, right away, I'm like, my parents think I'm fucking retarded. I give them the fucking switch, right? I act like I'm walking along with them, and I just fucking take off. Because I'm so fucking young, I feel like I don't want to be with the dream team. I don't want to fucking I feel like I can handle this. I get over, I find my fucking flight, I'm sitting there. I hear my name being called out.
Jesus.
Because they had called my fucking parents at home and said I fucking beat the feet on them.
Holy fuck.
And I fucking got on the phone with my mom, and I go, you make me feel retarded. Never, ever try to do this to me again. I'm on the other, I'm like fucking 1,500 miles away. Now this is how stupid a kid is. That's the point of this. You can't fucking trust a kid to make the decision. This fucking kid could wait 10 years and go, you know what, I was molested. It's time for me to sue Qantas.
Time to get paid, son.
I will give you another thing. The guy shows up at the DMV. He's in a wheelchair. He feels like they're not taking care of him. Just knowing that, whose side are you normally going to be on?
The fucking wheelchair dude.
Yeah, the disabled guy.
Pips?
Definitely got to go wheelchair.
All right, so because you think to yourself, this is it. This guy went and posted about his problems with the DMV. It's up on the iBank today. And just take a listen to it. Oh, by the way, his son is with him and is shooting video of how tough it is to be fucking treated when you're in a wheelchair.
For the state, and they don't even know what the law is. They don't.
So he doesn't want to be in a line. He wants to be immediately taken care of at the DMV because he's in a wheelchair.
Bud. He's with me. I don't care if he's with you, it's your mother or not. I'm not talking to your mother. I'm talking to him.
Sir, how can I help you?
I'm disabled. I'm in a wheelchair. I have a right to go to the head of the line.
No, you do not.
Yes, I do. That's the law. It is the law.
You do not get
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
The security guard every time we come in says that.
Hey, why don't you let everybody
You know what? We're not talking to you.
Yeah, but
we're not talking
why
to you.
don't you mind your own business?
Because we're not talking
to you. You're not one of these people that work here, so get out of my face.
We're not talking.
So they go and put this entire thing up about how bad the DMV is. And this is the way that they fucking talk to people.
That old man's real crotchety.
He's fucking...
Yes, we have a right to do so. Mind your own business.
The security...
Now, they keep putting up stuff about how difficult it is to be disabled.
Guard says to come in here and go to the head of the line. To the head of the line.
You call a manager out here. You're not the manager. You're not the manager.
It says disabled right here.
Persons with disabilities or appointments only.
Right here.
And we have preference over appointments.
No, you do not.
Even if I don't have an appointment. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
No, you do not.
Yes, I do.
Are you the manager?
Even when I'm in the grocery store. Even
Is
when
there
I'm
somebody
in the
above
grocery
you?
store.
No, there's not.
And what are you going to do? Are you going to assist us or just badger
As
us?
soon as the rest of the people are helped, you're going to be placed in line where you need to be.
No,
At the end of this line right here. That line.
Breaking the law.
It says that you get
You're breaking the law.
Right here.
That does not
And the security guard tells us to go to the head of the line every time.
No. It's in the law, Norman. It's in the.
So what are you
ADA
going to do?
law.
You're going to badger us for 15 minutes and not help
I
us?
suggest you go to your law books and you find out that I'm right.
Sir, what it has is that you will be having a certain spot that's set aside for
bull. That's not even correct. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea what the ADA law... Tell me what the ADA law is, then, if you know what it is.
That you have certain spaces set aside specifically for...
No. When I go to the grocery store, they tell me to go to the head of the line. I always go to the head of the line, even in the grocery stores.
All right, let's stop this.